Hey guys, what's up? Today I have a PU battle with Xenon 3120, the good old Xenon. I'm sure you all know him. But if you're wondering what PU is, it's actually not really a tier. When they did the March tier changes, it's kind of just like the NU of NU, as Antar put it. And I think PU is just a pun on the sort of the PU, these guys stink. And it's not actually representing like pathetically used or something like that. I'm not really certain. But there are some really good Pokemon in this tier. I mean, there's like, as you see, Caracosta's here, Electabuzz, Credilli's pretty good. There's also like Ursaring, Slacking, Regigigas. I mean, there's some stuff with some pretty good stats. But for now, we're gonna get into the battle. It's pretty long, as you can see, but it's a fairly good one. So, gonna go for the Volt Switch on the first turn because he has nothing to be immune to it, and I figure why not. He's gonna switch out to his Regigigas to take it fairly well, and I'm gonna Credilli. He's gonna switch out to his Muck, dodging the Toxic, which was fairly obvious, but whatever. I opted to go for that over the Stealth Rock just so that he was, getting Toxic longer if he did decide to stay in. So I'll go for the Stealth Rocks now. I'm gonna switch to my Slowpoke. I see Curse, and I'm worried. I'm very worried that he has Rest, which is I've seen like a hyper defensive Muck with max special defense, max HP, Curse, Rest, and then like Poison Jab and maybe Shadow Sneak or something. But so I'm just gonna kind of scald him. I do get the burn on the second attempt, and he's now pretty much not doing very much damage with that poison jab. So I'm kind of safe, but again, as I said, if he pulls rest at some point, since I'm doing like fucking 5%, and then the burn is doing an extra, 6.25% after negating his leftovers, I'm kind of in trouble. So yeah, I'm just basically just scalding him. I'm like, please don't have rest. Please don't have rest. I believe at this point I was still on Skype with Rich or Inert Fury, so we were talking, and I'm just like, oh my god, Rich, I'm battling Xenon. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh okay. And then I'm just like, oh god, he's got a Muck and he's cursing up on me so much, and he's burned. He's like, oh, why is he doing that? I'm like, I think he has rest. And it's just like, oh god, you're gonna get swept, aren't you? And I'm like, yes, I'm totally gonna get swept if he has rest. But as you see, he's, I believe, +5 at this point. And that poison jab doesn't even do half. And if you're savvy with your base stats and their calculations, I actually don't have max HP. I actually only have 4 HP EVs. I have max defense, max special defense, because Slowpoke's HP is 90, his defense is 65, and his special defense is 40. So a little more HP is not that big of a change compared. It's kind of like the same thing with Blissey. Its defense is really low, but you put in max defense and it like doubles the defense. So that's why you do it. The same thing here with Slowpoke, because I figure I have Regenerator and Slack Off, so why not? So as you saw there, because he went for the Shadow Sneak, which I could have figured he was going to go for, so I should have slack offed. But I also thought maybe he was really counting the damage with Scald, and he was going to rest at the last possible chance. And because I got crit on the second last one, he couldn't rest. But I don't think he would have waited that long. That seems kind of weird. But he didn't say anything about him having rest. I never actually asked, but so I don't think he did have rest. So I'm going to switch out to my Electabuzz to take his most likely Volt Switch and get my Regenerator up. He's going to switch into Regigigas as I go for the Volt Switch of my own. Switch out to Credilli. He's going to paralyze me. And I'm thinking, please don't have Substitute, because if you have Substitute, Toxic's going to do nothing. But then I figure if he had Substitute, he would have used it before, because he would have been able to either get me on the Toxic or the Stealth Rock, and he would have had a free sub up. And unless I'm like a curse set, I can't really touch a Regigigas' sub, because Regigigas, his base stats are fucking ridiculous. It's like 110 HP, freaking like 100 or something, and all the defense. Like, his stats are fucking ridiculously good. It's just slow start really makes him not a good offensive threat, at least until you wait 5 turns. But I get the Toxic off through the Parafusion. I'm gonna switch out to Slowpoke knowing that he's probably going to Confuse Ray or perhaps Drain Punch again, neither of which will really do too much to my Slowpoke. Plus, it lets me switch right back out, knowing that he's going to most likely Thunder Wave. That's going to do nothing, and I get Regenerator on my Slowpoke, and I don't have to risk not getting a Slack Off, right, because of the Parafusion. But, so that works out perfectly. So now he's kind of dying to the Toxic pretty hard. He's going to go for the Frustration here instead of the Drain Punch, I assume, predicting me to switch back out to my Slowpoke. But that doesn't work out because that ends up doing nothing. And because his Drain Punch only did like 75, I know it's only going to do about 100 after his attack doubles. And as you see here, or not 100, did I say 100? I meant 150. It does 146, so I'm really not worried about it. I'm going to go for the Ancient Power. I'm like, please give me an Uber boost maybe? That would be great, because then I can kind of wall the rest of his team. I mean, Emolga does have probably HP Ice, but I'm not worried about it because its special attack is 75. Which is kind of like Serperior. Like, Serperior is just a better Pokemon. I mean, they both have 75 attack and special attack, but Serperior has 75 HP, which I think Emolga has like 65, has 95 defenses, which Emolga has like 55 or 65, and its speed is even higher at 113 as opposed to 103. So, Emolga really is just a pretty bad Pokemon. But Serperior, I do not believe is PU. I'm pretty sure Serperior is fairly high up in the NU usage. But, which is kind of a funny thing to say. It's high up in the never used usage. I don't know, whatever. It's just fun. I like it. They could just number these tiers. They don't have to give them names. Just call it this like tier 5 or whatever, or 6 if you count Ubers, or 8 if you count BLs. But anyways, so I go to Kangaskhan because I'm fairly certain I can take a hit because, as I said, it's very weak. And I'm pretty sure it's Scarfed. But he's going to switch out and go into Lunatone. I'm going to go for the Sucker Punch because I figured he's going to go to Lunatone. I don't have anything other than Double Edge to hit him, and I don't want to fake out because if he switches out, it'll probably do very little, and I'll waste a Life Orb recoil. So basically, Sucker Punch was just, if he wants to stay in an attack, he's going to die. If he wants to switch out, I don't take recoil. But I go to Slowpoke. He sets up rocks. I'm going to Toxic him. His max special attack Ancient Power isn't really doing much. It's Stab too. And that's the beauty of having max special defense with the Violet because it gives me almost 300. And that's really high. And my defense is like 325. No, it's more than that. It's like 425. It's like 250. That's why. So 375. Sorry. I'm counting that wrong. Yeah. So somewhere around there. But yeah, basically I'm just Toxic stalling this Lunatone. And yeah, Slowpoke and Credilli make a good core because I mean, you know, Slowpoke resists the fighting, the ice, and you know, the fire, which is neutral, as well as the ground. Well, it doesn't resist ground. Never mind. But then you know you got the electric and the grass neutral on Credilli, so it only really leaves like Ghost and Dark, but that's like not a big deal. So here he switches in his Mightyena. I'm going to go to my Caracosta. I'm fairly certain I can take hit just because my base defense is like 133. I'm going to go for the Waterfall. He does get a defense drop on the Crunch, which I didn't actually notice at the time, but it makes sense because that Crunch only did like less than 100, and now he's going to take me out with the Sucker Punch, which has the exact same base power at 80. And I'm going to end up dying to that. And he gets his Moxie boost. So what I should have done here is went into Credilli, but the thing is that my Credilli is paralyzed. And basically, with his +1, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. Yes, he's leftovers, but again, he can sub. I can't really Toxic him. Ancient Power, it might break the sub, but it's not that strong. So I went into Kangaskhan. I'm going to fake out, go for the Sucker Punch, because pretty sure he's going to go for the Sucker Punch, and I know because I'm faster, it's going to go first, and then his is going to do nothing. Then here, I figured he's going to be like, oh, he's going to go for the Sucker Punch, right? It's not going to kill me, and I'll go for the Crunch and kill him. So I went for the Double Edge instead, but he went for the Sucker Punch still. And I'm just like, fuck. Now he's got +2. I have nothing that can take his Sucker Punch. And Credilli almost dies to this Crunch. And I'm like, oh, God. And I recovered. But then I'm like, oh, shit, that did way more than I thought it would. I really can't afford... Like, I can't just keep recovering. I'm only gaining, like, freaking 5% health-ish, maybe 10%, but he's going to get either a crit or a defense drop at some point, or I'm going to get fully paralyzed. So I take the opportunity to Toxic him here, and basically, I'm like, I'm sort of in trouble. Kind of Well, I mean, if I had went straight out to Credilli, he had a chance to 2-hit KO me. Well, not really, but again, because he subbed, it's like even if Ancient Power broke the sub, like it's not like I could kill him with Ancient Power in one shot, so he could still 3-hit KO me very easily. Yes, I could recover, but again, defense drops eventually, paralysis, all that good stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it would have been risky, but it probably would have been slightly better play. But I don't know. Yeah, so here I go to Electabuzz, my last chance. I'm going to switch out, thinking, okay, I'm faster. He knows I'm faster. I'm Scarfed, so I'm obviously faster. He has to Sucker Punch. I'll switch to Rapidash. He'll do nothing. He'll then Crunch me, kill me. He'll die to Toxic. I'll go back to Electabuzz, and I'm Scarfed. I'm faster than his Emolga, because my base speed is 2 points higher. I'm faster than his Butterfree, obviously, and I kill both of them with a Stab Thunderbolt. But he predicts that switch and goes for Crunch, and doesn't die to Toxic, Sucker Punches me, and kills me. So, like, wow! I was so far ahead of that battle. And then he pulls out some nice predictions with Sucker Punch, like I said, against the Kangaskhan. Against that Electabuzz switch. Oh man, those were some nice predictions. So that just goes to show you, I mean, hey, you could be up in score and Mightyena all of a sudden gets a Moxie Sweep. So yeah, I mean, it was like, there wasn't really much I could do about it. I could have, I guess, switched on the last tick of Toxic on his Lunatone so he couldn't get a save switch in on his Mightyena. But in the end, like, just that was, I have to admit, Xenon made some great plays there. Although I told him, I'm like, if I had just quote unquote given up and just clicked Thunderbolt on my Electabuzz when he crunched instead of switching out, he would have lost. And he's like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, so, like, I don't know. To me, in a way, that's sort of like knowing that I wouldn't give up, because most people you can imagine be like, oh, he's got like a +3 priority stab user and I have nothing to take it. He's just going to keep sucker punching, whatever, just give up. But I didn't, and he played around that, so I guess that shows you that he respects my skill, and I'm definitely respecting him for that prediction. That was awesome. So, like I said, I mean, again, the crunch defense kind of changed it. He even agreed on my Caracosta, because it meant I couldn't... I don't know if I would have killed him flat out, because I am Life Orb and Jolly max attack, but I don't think it would have flat out killed. Maybe, but either way, I would have had Kangaskhan to fake out and Sucker Punch, and that definitely would have killed. But all in all, it was a fun match. It was pretty nice, and some great plays. And again, PU is fun. So if you want to have a PU battle, I mean, if you want to have any tier battle, add me on Skype, ask me if I'm available and I'm down to battle, then we can. And PU is fun. I like all tiers, basically. So yeah. I'm done rambling, and I'm judging from the fact that there's like so many comments on yesterday's video that you all enjoyed that one too, because he's so dumb. But I'll try not to drag that into this one, and you can have a nice evening, and I'll see you all next time.